Hey, welcome back to Minding Your Business with the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce. Next guest, Josh Mann, Public Sector Solutions Manager. Hey, Josh.
Hey, Chris.
At Waste Management.
At Waste Management, yeah.
And you're kind of like my go-to guy.
Yeah, proud member of the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce,
Right.
and proud vice chairman of the Chris Spiker fan club. So
Is that still going?
it is. I mean, your mom, she really likes you. So
Well, we like our mom too.
yeah, oh yeah,
She's
always,
a good kid.
always. But we're not here to talk about the Chris Spiker fan club. We're here to talk about recycling, I think.
I think it's all about recycling. You know,
These days,
and
yeah.
I would think I'm pretty well dialed in and clued in, but I got a lot to learn. And I'm thinking, geez, if I'm one of your all-stars, we got a big job ahead.
We do, yeah. Recycling has evolved. I mean, just roll back the clock to the early days of recycling, and primarily, you may remember reading in your history books about the bottle deposit programs, right? Where you would buy the sodas and then take the bottle back to the store, and it's really evolved to these curbside programs that we have now here locally in the Antelope Valley, where you can basically take all of your recyclables and put them into one container, and then we sort them out and get them baled up and get them onto their next life. But that process gets a little complicated.
Is that the green can?
Here for Lancaster, Palmdale, and the Greater Antelope Valley, that would be your green recycling container. So it's a lot of the things that we all know are recyclable. Your cans and bottles, your beverage containers, as well as your cardboard, your mixed paper. So those catalogs and
Catalogs.
yeah,
Glossy catalogs are okay.
those are fine. The mail that you don't want, the inserts,
Envelopes,
envelopes, newspapers, copy paper, any of those items that you want to discard, put in your recycling container. Really, what we're looking for is certainly no food or liquids in that container, and then trying to get out the tanglers. So a lot of people think, I should be recycling my plastic bags or my plastic wrap. And while they are recyclable, they're not recyclable through the curbside program. You'd need to take those back to the retailer.
That's like with all those water bottles, that big, huge piece of plastic that hooks it all together. That is not recyclable, that plastic.
It is recyclable, but not through your curbside program. So you would take that along with any plastic single-use bags that you may have gotten from your grocery or convenience store. You want to take those and bundle those up and take those back to a retailer. Most of the major retailers out here, your Walmarts, your Targets, your Home Depots and Lowe's, they'll take those back at no charge as a part of that program. So, and that's really what we're working on now is cleaning up the recycling container. Ultimately, I think that people want to do the right thing. They know that a lot of the materials that they're done with can be reused in some way, shape, or form. It's just that they can't necessarily all go into your curbside recycling container, and so we're helping to educate people about what goes in there and what doesn't.
Glass containers, do they need to be rinsed out as clean as possible?
So certainly from a standpoint, the cleaner the better. We know that out here in the desert, we're all really water conscious, and so from that standpoint, if you can pour it out or scrape it out, you should be pretty good there. Again, we're trying to reduce the amount of food contamination or liquid contamination, so make sure everything is kind of empty and dry before you put it in your recycling container.
Cleaning out things, running things down the sink. I'm from a couple of tours at the Lancaster maintenance yard. I'm realizing we don't really want to put too much solid stuff down the sink.
Correct. So if you've got that peanut butter jar with the last scoop of peanut butter, if you can just scoop that out and put it in your regular trash container, that would be the way to handle that. Otherwise, for things like you've scraped out as much as you can get out of the jelly jar, you just pop that in with your dishes in the dishwasher if it's glass. Run that through a cycle, then it'll be completely clean and dry. You're not worried about making anything sticky or contaminating the rest of your recycling. That's the easy way to handle things like that.
We're just about done using garbage disposals, aren't we?
The way things are moving now is that more and more organic material is going to be separated out from the waste stream. Going through the sewer system is probably not the best way to handle that. You'll be seeing a lot more activity. Your green waste container at some point in time in the future is probably going to turn into an organics container. So all of that excess food waste or yard trimmings, that's all going to go to a composting facility or an anaerobic digestion facility. A much better use of that organic material. And then, it helps to clean up not only our recycling stream, but also reduce the cost of processing wastewater. All that contamination's got to be
Yard
taken
waste. I mean, I just love putting everything in that yard waste can. But oleanders, not good?
Right now, it's not so much of a big deal. Oleanders, because of the processes we're using now, if we were trying to make a specialized soil amendment, it might be more of a concern. But really what we're trying to make sure we get out of there is anything that can't be processed down. So your heavy wood materials, so things like palm fronds or yucca plants, that's really way too hard on most processing equipment. So those would not be good organic items to put into your green waste container. Oleander's not so much of a big deal. Get your grass clippings and leaves, those sorts of things. You pulled weeds in your yard. That's all good for your green waste container.
It's a shame to send all that wonderful organic material away from the yard.
And we're a big proponent. If you have an on-site composting bin, make full use of that. A wood chipper, those sorts of things. Try and make beneficial reuse on your own property.
Yeah.
But otherwise, sometimes it gets to be a little bit of an extra chore, and most folks just like the convenience of putting it in their green waste container and having it go away every week. So.
Okay. And what a wonderful service Waste Management provides. I enjoy going around the desert and finding old dump sites, historic dump sites.
Yeah.
They've all been cleaned up and pillaged because people are looking for purple glass.
Sure.
But I'm wondering, what was the year that we started a regular trash service?
Yeah, so if we look back in the history, somewhere in really the 50s is when local trash collection operations got started up here in the Antelope Valley. Prior to that, it was a lot of kind of the kind of open dump sites or incineration. A lot of the older homes had incinerators in their backyards. But really in the 1950s is when curbside collection got started. At that point in time, it was a pretty manual process. The truck would come by and get the 55-gallon barrel or crate or box or whatever.
And a guy picked it up.
It was all manual.
Wow.
Guys slinging bins.
Yeah.
Very, very tough on the body, that's for sure. So.
Because people put a lot of heavy stuff in those cans.
Yeah. Well, and things have really evolved over the years. That trash on a per cubic yard or per gallon basis has really gotten lighter. But on the flip side is that there's a lot more of it. People, we're consuming a lot more these days.
Yeah.
We live a lot more. It's a complicated lifestyle, and so there's a lot of plastic packaging that people are trying to get rid of, and certainly in terms of how we treat food waste is kind of our number one target for getting out of the waste container, and we're going to be making progress towards that in the next couple of years.
Light bulbs.
Yes. So light bulbs, most people have converted to either CFL, those are the squirrely Q kind of bulbs, or LED. For those bulbs, they do not go into your curbside containers at all. They should be taken to a hazardous household waste collection center. We operate one on the first and third Saturdays of the month at our Palmdale site off of City Ranch Road. From 9 to 3, it's a drive-through kind of operation.
Yep.
So bring your light bulbs along with your paint and batteries and old electronics. Take that all there for free. So first and third Saturdays of the month.
Old microwaves.
Yep, small appliances. Although those are items that have residual value and could potentially pose an environmental concern if they were included in the regular waste stream.
Right.
So you should be taking those to a special facility.
Mattresses.
Mattresses. Yes, so California has passed a mattress recycling law and subsequently updated that in the last couple of years. Mattresses should not be put into the landfill, but you can take them to both of our facilities, and we will take those and separate them out and get them recycled for you.
No charge.
No charge.
Yep.
Or City of Lancaster has their maintenance yard off of Avenue H in Lancaster.
24/7. It's always open.
You can always drop them off there. Yep.
So we lock the cans. The thing I notice on my alley is birds. We lock the cans. We have lids on the cans. We need to close those lids because those birds are so smart. They see a white or a black bag, they're going to shred it.
Oh yeah. So out here we've got a lot of wildlife encroachment that as suburban and urban as we've gotten in the cities. There's still a lot of wildlife out there, and they love your garbage. And so yeah, we encourage everybody to not overfill their bins. Make sure those lids fit tightly to the top of the container. That helps keep those animals out. The trash is not good for them. It's certainly not good for getting scattered all over the streets. And so, yeah, make sure you get those lids closed.
Kind of defeats all the purpose of collecting trash.
Yeah, and these are the simple things that help keep a neighborhood or, in your case, a shopping center tidy. Just being mindful of what you put into those containers, and then certainly making sure that you get them closed.
It's a tough job, but I'm glad that Waste Management is there to do it. And consider the alternative of having nobody coming by every week.
Yeah, and since we've gotten rid of incinerators and the open dump sites, that it's better for the environment, better for our air quality. Really does make the basis of a good community. So.
Josh Mann, Public Sector Solutions Manager, Waste Management. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, Chris. Great to be here.